The elephant in the room in Canada right now is immigration. There's just way too much of it. It's gone completely crazy. Mother Trudeau seems to love it. He can't get enough. And the fact that our infrastructure is being completely overwhelmed by these historic numbers of people that Trudeau is bringing to Canada, that doesn't seem to concern him very much. And the mainstream media in Canada is, of course, overwhelmingly disinterested in this topic. I mean, this is one of their sacred cows, right? It's just good. Any amount is good. An infinite amount is good. But you do see some people talking about it. Here's Brian Lilly from the Toronto Sun. As a StatScan, that's Statistics Canada, shows immigration soaring, is it time for a pause? Pace of newcomers arriving appears to be outstripping job creation amid a housing crisis. And let's just go to the StatsCan report here. Employment rose by 40,000 in August. This increase in employment was outpaced by population growth. 103,000. 103,000. This is Canada, by the way. That's 1 month. And the unemployment rate, the proportion of the population aged 15 and older who were employed, fell 0.1 percent points to 61.9. That means we're bringing in more people than we can provide jobs for. Back to this article, he says, have we reached an immigration tipping point in Canada? Yes. The answer is yes. If you're in the housing market and if you've been to an emergency room lately, the answer is definitely yes. Now, he points out here that in those stats from Stats Canada, the figure of 103,000 in a month, in 1 month in Canada, is only the working age population of people 15 and older. It doesn't include young children. So that 103,000 is just the people 15 and over. Still, bringing in 103,000 in a month is the equivalent of adding Pickering in Ontario, Lethbridge in Alberta, or Kamloops in British Columbia in 1 month. Since the beginning of the year, StatsCan says we have averaged 81,000 newcomers aged 15 and older per month. That will equate to just over 1 million, let me repeat that, 1 million new people this year if the trend continues. Over the last several years, we have gone from bringing in between 250,000 to 300,000 new permanent residents each year, people who are immigrating to settle here, to more than 430,000 permanent residents in 2022. The government's goal is to lift that to 500,000 new permanent residents a year by 2025, a mark they will easily hit. But that's not all, because we've also gone from a few 100,000 international students studying in Canada each year to more than 800,000 last year, and estimates of more than 900,000 this year. None of this takes into account the thousands of people claiming asylum in Canada each month, or the hundreds of thousands of temporary foreign workers. And in addition to that, a recent CIBC report suggested that Canada's population could be off by 1 million. 1 million thanks to an undercounting of non-permanent residents, mostly temporary foreign workers. Let's look at housing. Canada MLS benchmark price, which measures the price of a typical home in Canada, was $757,300 in July of 2023. Now that's all houses. That's in the places where real estate's less expensive, like Alberta, Saskatchewan, Manitoba. That's houses in rural areas. That's all of them. And the average price is still $757,000. If you want to live in Toronto, $1.27 million for the average detached house. Vancouver, $1.27 million. And it's not that much less out in the suburbs. So something is wrong here, and it's obviously supply and demand. And just saying, well, just build more houses, build more homes. Yeah, but the problem is they need to be connected to jobs. They need to be connected to infrastructure. Not to mention the fact that the more homes you build, the more you're going to inflate the price of building homes. Back to this article, he says that we have a housing crisis driven by more demand than supply, and the ever-increasing population, especially among foreign students, is adding to that. This week, we saw a story of international students in North Bay living in tents because of the lack of housing options available. We don't have enough housing for the people already in the country, never mind adding a new city per month. But we're also told that we need the new arrivals to fill the jobs to build the houses. Our healthcare system is regularly at a tipping point without enough doctors and nurses to deal with the population already here. But we are also told that we need newcomers to fill the jobs in healthcare. Yet, when they get here, we won't have proper housing, healthcare, education for their children, or infrastructure for the communities they settle in. It's quite a conundrum. It's not really, though, is it? Only bring in the people that we actually desperately need. We don't need any more Uber drivers. We don't need more temporary workers at Tim Hortons. Is any of this good for the country or good for the people who are coming here, quite possibly on the false notion that Canada is a country that still functions properly? Perhaps now it is time to hit pause. Perhaps slow the intake until we have a handle on the situation and are sure we can absorb this many people so quickly. But all of this begs the question. What is the point of it in the first place? There's tons of YouTube videos of people who saying they came to Canada and discovered it's just a scam to get them to blow their life savings here, to prop up the economy, to prop up real estate prices. And I believe about a third of immigrants actually leave within 5 years now anyway, because they realize this country is becoming increasingly unlivable. Oh, and the other thing is, too, it also drives down wages enormously. So, everybody can thank Trudeau for that as well. So, the answer to the question to me seems pretty simple. We need to just stop it now, unless we're talking about only people with specialized skills that Canada actually really does need. Because I'm not sure that we need more temporary workers working for lower wages, or that we need to trick engineers to come here so that they can end up being Uber drivers. I'm just not sure how any of this helps anybody. Anyway, that's all I got to say about that. Please subscribe, like, and share. Sharing really helps me out. I thank you for that. I will see you next time.